Now, this next one might frighten you. It might be what takes you over the edge. Chocolate is in danger. Now, so much so that the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, aka NOAA, you might have heard of it in a lot of different references to NOAA in the science literature, they have claimed that chocolate will be extinct by 2050. Now, I say chocolate, but I mean cacao beans. So much like coffee, cacao is a pretty fussy crop. Cacao can only grow within 20 degrees north and south of the equator, and they need fairly uniform temperatures, high humidity, abundant rain, and nutrient-rich soil, and of course, protection from wind. Now, that's why rainforests are their best friends. The Ivory Coast and Ghana produce over half of the world's cacao. Some estimates say up to 70%. Now, this is a problem, obviously, because in the IPCC's report, when we follow the business as usual scenario, which is currently where we're going, those countries will experience a 2.1 degrees Celsius rise by 2050, which will drastically reduce the place that cacao will be able to grow. Now, I will mention something for the nerds like me that might want to know science a little bit better, and you don't need to remember the actual purpose for this. I just wanted to mention it to be fair to people who are interested. Now, this isn't because cacao can't grow in the heat, because in Malaysia, cacao continues to grow in hotter temperatures, but it's different in West Africa, and it's because of the rain, a process called evapotranspiration. This is the process in which water evaporates from leaves during photosynthesis. So in the case of West Africa, the rise in temperature will not be accompanied by an increase in rain, unlike places such as Malaysia. For transparency's sake, I will mention that only 89.5% of the cropland will be less suitable to grow cacao by 2050. And a nice little portion, 10.5%, will actually increase in suitability. And this is due to things like mountain ranges and so forth. So when we're talking about coffee, we mentioned a few different solutions. Some included the development of different strains of trees. We also looked at doing that here. And we can invest more into the research of developing breeds that have superior drought resistance, for example. A more simpler approach, we could also give trees some shade. So we go out in the sun, we get burnt. Cacao trees don't like it either. Communities and farmers could replant tall rainforest-like trees that provide shade for the small cacao trees. In turn, this would decrease both the temperature and evapotranspiration and increase protection from wind and soil erosion. We definitely don't want to stop growing cacao. For one, I love chocolate. I don't know about you, but I love it. And then for a second point, a study conducted in southern Cameroon in 2009 found that cacao forests in the region store on average 243 metric tons per hectare, which is about 2.5 acres. Now in 2011 to 2015, the World Bank reported that US citizens released about 17 metric tons of carbon dioxide per person per year. So obviously, the conclusion we can come from this is growing and eating more chocolate will stop climate change, right? Well, we can believe that, I suppose, in a lot of ways, but we can never rely on one thing. Of course, biodiversity is extremely important, but this food or this bean isn't just great for eating. I just wanted to really point out the fact that it can help in our journey to mitigate climate change because it sequesters a lot of carbon.